Hey everyone, welcome to our beginner's guide for utility on Inferno. In this video, we'll dive straight into the essential smokes, flashes, HEs, and Molotovs that'll help you control key areas of the map. Let's get right into it and start mastering Inferno. Alright, so we'll start the video off over here on the T side, doing everybody's favorite of taking banana control. So one thing you can do very early on is to molly off cars so that the CTs can't peek down banana. To do this, you can line yourself up in the center of this angled part of the wall. Then you're going to find this gutter around the wall here and aim right at the elbow and then simply left click throw. And this will spread, making it so that the CTs actually can't get behind there. And then from that same position with the same lineup, you can throw a flashbang. That'll be a pop flash for behind the half wall. And this will look something like this. And so you can see, even if a CT manages to get all the way up over here behind the half wall, this will absolutely destroy them. So while you're holding that flashbang, you can have another teammate running up banana, aim an HE at the top left part of this window. And if you throw that while running, the HE will bounce off the wall and go hit Sandbag. You can do the same thing with a Molly if you want to do that instead. You can still bank one off there. And it'll pop in Sandbag, making it so that CTs can't hide in that position either. And once they do that, then your teammate over there can throw the pop flash to blind the CT coming out of that position, and you effectively have banana control at that point. If you need even more help fighting for banana control, one thing you can have a teammate do is get into this position here, stuck in the corner, and they're going to aim at the bottom center of the white part on this sign right here, and then they're just going to jump throw a flash. This flash will pop right here, making it so that any CTs that swing wide into banana here will actually catch the flash and get blind by it. After you've taken banana control, you want to make sure that there's not a CT player playing right here, either holding it with an AWP or any other gun. In order to do that, go to this corner in tree, and you're going to aim a Molly at the top of this antenna here, right there, and then just left click throw. When you do that, it will perfectly cover this area, making them go back to the site. And you can do pretty much the same thing with an HE to just get some chip damage in, but just take a step and then throw. So now when it comes to executing onto B site, two most important pieces of utility you want to know are the CT smoke and the Coffin Smoke. So the CT smoke, what you're going to do is get yourself lined up on the right side of this brown panel, just like this, and then you're going to find this string of lights going across the center right here, and then you're going to go from the edge of this tip of the building here. There's two light bulbs. You're going to go directly in the middle of those and then up very slightly, so your crosshair's in this position right here, and then you just left click throw. This will bounce off the wall and land on top of the boost, making it so that the CTs can't see even if they are up top. And the good thing about this smoke is even if you miss, it'll still smoke off just CT, but you'll have to watch out for the boost. To smoke off Coffin, what you're going to do is get into this corner here, and you're going to find this dashed line on the B right here. And you're going to aim at the bottom of that while you're crouched, and then you're going to jump throw the smoke. And this will land on top of the coffin box right here, blocking off the view for any CTs that have rotated through church. Some additional utility you can throw while you're executing onto B, from the same position that you threw the CT smoke, you can aim at the top right part of this barrel with a flashbang and then jump through. This flash will go directly over the site, so if your teammates are coming up right here, as long as they hold this left wall, they won't be blind by this flashbang. So they can come up, and right after it pops, they can swing onto the site and kill anybody that's flashed. And the other thing you can do is get into this stuck position right here on this corner. Then you're going to find this heart shape in the dark right there, and then aim just below that with a Molly, and then jump throw. This will Molly off new box, making it so that any CTs that are playing behind there have to move. Over towards mid now, you can deny early CT aggression through bracket by throwing a flash as you're coming up the ramp here. You're going to aim in the center of this wall, and then left click throw as you're running up. And then you just want to make sure that it's hidden behind the yellow wall so it doesn't blind you, and then you can swing out and clear them out. And then towards the apartment side, you can stop the early aggression by throwing a Molly through this window here. You're going to aim under the right side of the window, making sure that it's not lined up with the door. So you want to be directly under this part here. And you're going to go down to the dark line on the bottom of these stairs, and then you're going to release the Molly as you pass the underside of the bridge. So it'll look like this. And that molly will pop here, making it so that the CTs can't go through boiler into apps to take the quick peek over here. Once you feel like the CTs aren't going to be pushing you over here in alt mid, one thing you can do is smoke off long side of bracket, and you can do this by lining yourself up in the middle of this window here. Then you're going to aim at the tip of this roof right there, and then left click throw. Very easy lineup, and the smoke will pop right over here, making it so that you don't have to look at the long side as you're coming out bracket, except for this little cubby right here. Now, another thing you can pair up with that is a flash to get your teammates inside of bracket, and you can have somebody else get lined up on this wall here, and they're going to aim at the top center part of this sign, and they're just going to left click throw. This flash will pop just around the corner of bracket, making it so that it's very hard for any CTs to dodge. A couple of useful pieces of utility can be thrown from this bracket position here. One is going to be your Moto Smoke, and the other is going to be a molly that pops underneath Porch. For the Moto Smoke, what you're going to do is line up with this crack, then you're going to find where the corner of this building would meet the corner of this roof, and it's a pretty general lineup, so it doesn't have to be too precise, but once you're kind of in this area, then you just left click throw. This smoke will land right here, making it so that anybody that is in the library does not have a sightline towards a site or lane. And then for the Porch Molly, what you're going to do is line up in the center of this garage door. Then you're going to find this line on the bricks right here, aim right in the middle of it, and then you're going to shift walk, take a step, and then throw the molly. It'll look like this. And you can see this molly goes very deep, getting even the deepest corner of Porch, clearing it out so that you don't have to. Now, a good flash to throw to help you get onto A site is thrown from this boiler position, and first thing you want to do is make sure that there are no CTs playing up on balcony here, and then you kind of want to get out to where you can see the corner of the building. Then you're going to aim somewhere in this sky right here, and then left click throw the flash, and this flash will go over and pop on the other side of the balcony right above pit here, so that it won't blind any of the Ts that are coming up lane, but it will get pretty much every angle inside of the site that is looking towards lane, with the exception of this one right here. And with that, it'll look like this from their perspectives. And from this pit angle, and even farther back here towards library. Another good lineup for a flash you can throw towards A site is thrown from inside of apartments here. So what you're going to do is line up on the center of this post, and then you're going to crouch, and then find this dark dot on the wall, aim to the left to the railing, and then it's a jump throw while crouched. It'll look like this, and it'll bounce off of this chimney into pit, and it will get most of the same angles as the other flash we just showed. When you're coming off of balcony here, it's very difficult to kind of clear out these angles one by one. So a smoke that's very useful to know is the Lurk smoke, which can be thrown by lining yourself up with this doorknob on the left door in the long hall. Then you're going to throw at the center of this shape right here in the paint, and it'll look something like this, where the smoke will actually go through the doorway and then land in the truck underneath here, blocking the view for all the CTs in the site, leaving you just pit to clear out, and then you can clear out site one by one. Now over on the CT side here, a very powerful smoke is the one that lands bottom mid that blocks the T's view into mid as well as banana. And you can throw this by getting into the stuck position between this chair and the wall here. And you're going to find this white spot on the wall, aim just to the right of that, and then give it a regular jump throw. And coming down to bottom mid here, it'll look something like this. So you can see it'll land right here, making it so that the T's will have to go through the smoke to get into banana, as well as through the smoke to get into mid. Some other utility you can throw towards bottom mid are a molly or an HE, depending on what you have. It's the same lineup for both. So what you're going to do is, as you're coming around bracket here, you're going to peek until you can see this white structure on the roof here, and then you're going to aim at the bottom right of that. Then as you're running, you're going to left click and throw. For the molly, it'll spread like this, making it so that any T's that want to come into mid will have to take some burn damage. And then for the HE, it'll look very similar, where it'll pop in the same general area and deal damage even to some T's if they're going into banana. You can block off bracket from the T's if you're playing arch by getting into this position here. Then you're going to aim to the center of the wall underneath this little window right here, somewhere in this general area. It's not a very precise lineup, and then just left click throw the smoke. And the smoke will pop inside of bracket, making it so that the T's would have to go through smoke to get to you. You can help support your teammate arch from pit by throwing them a flashbang if they're getting run down. You can do this by getting into this general area, and then you're going to aim somewhere at the center of this wall, just making sure you're to the left of this building here. And you're going to take a step and jump through a flash like this. That should pop over the arch player's head, making it so that it'll blind the T's but not them. So from your teammate's perspective, it'll be like this, and from the T's, it'll be something like this. Over here on the B side of the map, a lot of the utilities focus around banana and banana control. So one thing you're going to want to do to make sure that the T's don't just rush and take control of car at the beginning of the round is throw the half wall molly. And you can do this by aiming above these broken bricks on the wall as soon as you see them, and then just left click throwing, something like that. It's a pretty loose lineup. As long as the molly pops here and the T's would have to run through it to get to car, it's good. You can partner this up by peeking behind car right here into banana, and you can have a teammate flash for you by lining themselves up on this pillar, and then they're going to aim at the bottom center part of this sign, just like this, and then left and right click, and then jump through a flash. From the person peeking car's perspective, it won't blind them at all, like this. And then from the T's perspective in banana, it's very hard to see. If you want to take full control of banana, it's important to smoke off the bottom part of it. You can do this a couple different ways. The first most common way we see it being done is just by banking it off of this wall up here. So you're going to aim somewhere in this area, take a step and throw, and the smoke will bounce off the wall and land somewhere there and block off the bottom part. And now another set lineup you can do this with is by getting into this corner right here. And you're going to aim at this yellow box on the antenna and then jump through the smoke. And as you'll see, this lands in the same spot, blocking off bottom banana. And now it's useful as you're going down banana to make sure that there are no T's hiding in any of these little corners. And you can molly off the tree corner very easily just by banking a molly off of this wall. And you can do that by aiming above it to the bottom of this arch right here, taking a step and throwing. And then if you want, you can even have your teammate throw that same flash from before and then peek into banana. Another good way to flash banana or even car if you're going for a car retake is thrown from coffin here. So what you're going to do is have a teammate or yourself get into this position here. Then you're going to aim at the tip of this antenna somewhere in this general area and then left click throw the flash. And it's very similar to the other flash that we threw, but it's more intended for top banana. So as the T's coming around the corner like this, it'll pop directly in their face. If the T's have managed to make it all the way up to car, it's really important to smoke off this part of the site here so that the T's can't come through and you can wait for a rotate. And you can do this a couple different ways. The first way I'm going to show you is by lining up with this pillar right here. And then you're just going to aim in the center of this pushed out brick right here and then left click throw. It'll bounce right off of it and pop directly in the middle here, making it so that the T's can't push through. Now, another way you can do this if you ended up at first oranges here is aim at the part where this roof bracket meets the wall right here, and then just left click throw. And once again, it'll land in pretty much the same spot, blocking off the entire passageway onto the site here. And that will do it for the Inferno Basic Utility Guide. Be sure to be on the lookout for the future episodes in the series where we cover the intermediate and advanced utility on this map, as well as others. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.